All right. Before we get started, team one is here. Everyone is
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Yes.
All right. Yeah, Vatsal sir also joined. Hello, Vatsal sir. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Just give me a moment. I'm just getting started. 1 moment.
I hope I'm audible.
You're audible, sir. Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, Maharajan.
Okay, got it. Hello and welcome everyone and dear jury members. Thank you for joining on Saturday evening. This is Maharajan and it's a pleasure to be a host for next couple of hours. The Institute of Product Leadership proudly welcomes you all for the Skillathon in Product Design by the cohort of the Product Management Certification Program. Our participants will present their innovative solutions and our esteemed juries will evaluate them on key parameters. As Skillathon Go, it promises to be an evening filled with excitement, challenges, and skill demonstration. So this event is where top performing and top shortlisted participants from the cohort present their innovative solutions and hands-on project and portfolios towards assurance of skills to demonstrate the problem understanding of customer persona, use of tools and presentation, and at the last, design solutions. Today's session is going to be exciting and will definitely have a great learning takeaway. The cohort will walk the talk of IPL mantra, learning by doing. The audience will not just witness it live, but will also get to vote. I'll get to that in a bit. So before we jump in, let me begin this session by giving you an insight on what Skillathon are and why IPL emphasize on Skillathon. Skillathon is an event where top performing learners present their innovative solutions and skills and the product ideas to the industry experts and other learners. At IPL, we replace examination with Skillathon, studying with learning by doing philosophy. The institute strongly believes that the real test of skills is by demonstrating your idea to the live audience and industry experts. So before we jump into the presentation, it's time to introduce the juries for today. And for today's event, we have three prolific juries from the industry. First up, we have Divyansh Jain, who's a lead product designer at LN. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Madhan, for having me here. Thank you.
Yes. And we would like to hear a quick introduction about you.
Sure. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this call. I am Divyansh. I'm part of design team at Allen Digital for now. Before that, I was part of PhonePe for around 4 years. Before that, I was part of K21 Academy. So I think it's almost a decade that I am designing. Yeah, this is about me. My primary responsibilities are sort of designing for pre and post at Allen Digital, and taking care of new initiatives of AI across the board. So yeah.
Thank you, sir. And pleasure to have you on this platform. Looking forward.
Thank you.
And next up, we have Rakesh Subramanian, who's a audible? Yeah, who's a senior director of product design at Entity Data. Welcome, sir, and we would like to hear a quick introduction about you.
Hi everyone. Good evening, good afternoon to all of you folks. Glad to be a part of the Skillathon. I'm Rakesh Subramanian. I head the AI experience vertical at Entity Data. So I kind of bring in close to 2 decades of experience in the digital experience world and build quite a good amount of products across geographies. and pleasure to be a part of this initiative. Thanks again, Maharajan, for the intro.
Thank
And
you, sir.
request everyone
Pleasure.
to be on video. It'll be nice to get to see you guys, or
Thank you,
it's
sir. I was about to say that.
so boring to kind of stare at the screen.
No,
Thank you.
it's mandatory that when they present, they have to be in on video. But yes, to make it lively, it's very important that everyone turns on cameras. It would be interesting and it will be interactive. And yes, sir, a pleasure to have you and really looking forward to your insights. And yeah, last up we have Vatsal Chowdhury, sir, who's the director of CX AI capabilities from KPMG. Welcome, sir. And we would like to hear a quick introduction.
Hi, everyone. I have about 16 odd years of experience in product design. I started with print media, went into photography, then explored various other mediums of design. And now, for the past few years, I've been spending time in leveraging AI to build experiences and build that practice within KPMG. Glad to be here. Super excited for what kind of projects that we will have a look at. Probably I'll steal some ideas on the screen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A very warm welcome, juries. Thank you for taking time and joining us as a jury for today's Skillathon. Yeah. Let's move on. Okay, so before we jump in, here are the quick guidelines for the event today, right? Each team will have 10 minutes to present their product presentations, followed with 5 minutes of feedback and questions and answers, Q&A and feedback by jury. And I have a timer with me. So once your introduction starts, your timer starts, and timer will appear onto the right-hand side of the screen. Um, and yes, so once the presentation is done, we'll move to the jury's questions and feedback. And once the questions and feedback is done, we'll move to the scoring part. Like juries can, based on the parameters, juries can evaluate and give the scores out of 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. And please note that jury score has the highest weightage because we will also have an audience poll, but jury score has the highest weightage. Okay, and most importantly, like Rakesh sir was telling, please have your cameras on. Let's make this session very interactive, and it's very important and mandatory. When you present, you have to have your cameras on. Okay, all right. So let's jump in. Time to welcome the presenters, and first up we have Aman Kumar Srivatsava, Ashutosh Mishra, and Sharon Fernandez.
Good evening, everyone. Let me share
Good
my
evening, everyone.
Yeah. So team, please help me with who's presenting the screen for the day. I'll give the co-host access.
I'm going to present this slide. Aman.
Aman, right? 1 minute. Aman, I've given the co-host access to you. You can start the presentation. And like I said, once your introduction starts, your timer starts. And 10 minutes, hard stop. All the best.
Give me a minute. Do I see my screen?
It's loaded.
It is getting presented.
So it has been stopped. Yes, a minute.
No, I think now it's visible. Juries, all of you can see the screen, no? All good?
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Thank
You
you.
can start, Aman. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sharon can start.
Yeah. So today Aman, Ashutosh and Sharon, me over here, we are going to present to you the Financial Wellbeing Act that we have designed for young working professionals in urban India. If you move on to the next slide, we'll just give you just the power page of our slide, right? So before jumping into the solutions, what we wanted to do was we wanted to understand whether this was a meaningful problem worth solving in the market. So we therefore looked at both the market opportunity as well as the user behavior to validate the actual need before moving into the design process. On the next page, what we did was before designing a solution, we can move to the next page. Yeah. So over here, before designing a solution, what we first did was we defined what the problem we wanted to solve was. So young professionals in India today have access to a lot of tools, right? From your banking and payment apps, investment platforms, etc. However, managing these finances still remain a challenge for them. And there were three key issues that stood out to us. One was limited knowledge, second is your low confidence in making your decisions, and third is just financial apps which are more fragmented and complex generally. So this led to our problem statement, which was young professionals struggle to understand and manage their overall financial well-being, which is primarily due to your fragmented information, limited guidance, and complex apps. Next, once we defined the problem, we wanted to understand whether it represented a meaningful market opportunity. So India is one of the world's largest population in terms of digitally connected young professionals. And your adoption of digital payments, investment platforms, fintechs, all continue to grow rapidly. We started with a TAM of roughly 1.4 billion in population, with wherein we identified that there are roughly 993 million adults. Out of this TAM that we looked at, these are essentially our adults who are comfortable using digital financial services, and this represents the broadest possible market for us. From here on, we move to SAM, which consists of our young professionals who fit the target demographic and the behavioral profile. From that segment, then we went on to our SOM, which is approximately 350K active users. So what happened was this exercise essentially helped us to move from a broad market opportunity to a realistic and focused target audience. Obviously, maybe 350K might sound less to you, but this is just the phase one of where we would want to target the audience. Next step, roughly 28 million ends up being our target that we would want to achieve. So when we looked at this exercise, it helped us in terms of identifying the clear target audience for us. And while the market potential did validate the opportunity, we still wanted to understand if the user experience existed behind, what the user experience was behind the problem. So we conducted some surveys, which was a mix of qualitative and quantitative questions. These questions generally looked at, let's say, the frequency of their usage, most used apps or features, what their financial awareness was, what their spending behavior kind of looked like, their satisfaction levels, and even the recommendation likelihood. And we also kept an open-ended question to get some value and improvement feedback over here. So the goal for us wasn't just to simply ask users, hey, what features do you want? Instead, we wanted to understand how they currently navigate their finances and where their frustrations exist. This survey finding helped us identify patterns and identify the target persona that was for us. Apart from this, obviously, we did even some secondary research to try and identify what the current financial apps are, how they work, and all of that. Over here, you'll see, so this is just a template of, let's say, what sort of survey questions we asked and what parameters we gave them. So it ranged between scoring, let's say, even giving, let's say, a high, low, average, and even a yes, no question. Next, based on these survey findings, we developed a primary persona, which is Rahul Sharma. So Rahul is a 28-year-old engineer who lives in Delhi, has stable income, strong digital adoption habits, uses UPI, banking platforms, all of it. He is the target representative of what an urban young professional in India currently looks like. So what makes Rahul interesting for us is that despite being so financially aware and consuming financial content, he still struggles with taking actions. He earns well but has inconsistent savings, uses multiple apps, juggles a lot of it, and doesn't have a consolidated view of his finances. His goals were pretty straightforward, to be honest. He wanted to save consistently, build an emergency fund, buy a home, and improve his overall financial health. Now, this persona became the North Star for our design process, right? So far, what we've done in this presentation is we've covered the problem, we've looked at the market opportunity, and we've conducted user research. Now, what I'll do is I'll hand it over to Ashutosh, who will walk you through what the next phase of our design thinking process was, where we'll understand the experience with our empathy mapping and the insights from that for our final product design.
Hey, hi everyone. So I'll take it forward from here. So basically, the intent of having the empathy map is like to move beyond demographics and understand user psychology. So we created an empathy map and we analyzed that the users say that think, do, and feel. So as you can see, like there are a couple of instants. There are which says and needs, then thinks and hidden thoughts, does and workarounds, feels and emotions. So based on these parameters, we have created this empathy map. And Aman, if you can move to the next, please. Yeah, so these are the pains and desired outcomes. So basically, the intent of having this is like we then translated our empathy findings into clear pain points, like whatever the pain points the customer or end users are facing. So based on that, like there are a couple of apps, as Sharon mentioning earlier. So tracking net worth, complex jargon, market focus. So these are the real-time frustrations and pain points which customers or end users are facing. So based on that, we have designed this. And the desired outcome, yep. So as Aman has moved to the next slide, the significance of having product vision and strategy goal is like to make sure that it is up to the point, and our focus was understanding the problem and the user. So once we identify the key points and desired outcomes, we defined a product vision and strategic goals that would really subsequent with the design decisions. So that is what the product vision all about, and business goals. Aman, can you please move to the next, please? So basically, this particular defines the success criteria, success metrics. So we have set some certain criteria for the success metrics. So it is more on the solution focused with user centric solutions. So we defined our clear success metrics. So whatever the funds are there, so it should be emergency funded, retirement progress clear, savings target made, and knowing next actions. So these are the few success metrics which we have measured on the basis of our app, and that is something we have actually used as a tracking purpose. So that's pretty much about this. From the next section, Aman will take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashutosh. Good evening, everyone. So your user journey map, as we have taken the user persona called Rahul. So if you see, he is earning well, but he is quite confused. Like, no, he is not able to see all his financial picture at one place. So that's why he was looking for a solution. And the moment he got that app, financial wellness app, so he gets onboarded. He signed up over there, but he was very cautious because he has to share all his no financial information to the app. So he was very careful. Once he has shared all the information, he got an idea, he has taken some reviews from the users. So the moment he has shared, he can see all his financial picture at one place. Now he's very informed and he's very relieved. Now he can see what to do next. Now he can plan. Let's suppose he is planning about no for one foreign trip once in a year, but he is not sure, like, should I take it or not, because he is not sure about his financial picture, because he has invested multiple places all his amount, whatever he is earning, whatever he is investing. So now he can do, the moment he can see the picture, he can do what to do next, he can plan it out accordingly. And then the moment he is achieving his goal, now he feel very proud and accomplished. Now I can, okay, I have accomplished, this is my goal, and that's what I got it. Opportunities, app areas, and key takeaway, that we will discuss in our wireframe, because we have taken that. So this is our low fidelity wireframe, where user has to do the sign up, login screen, a splash screen over there, and they have to connect the account. This is our low fidelity. High fidelity picture that we have created, the wireframe that we have created, where user, as you can see, user has to connect the app. The moment he has connected the app, he can see all his financial snapshot. He can see the score detail, where he is, what he is spending, what he is saving, what the debt he has, right? Everything he can see. The moment he will click on the action center, he will get redirected to the AI financial course. To the AI financial coach, he can discuss whatever he wants to discuss, right? He can take some suggestion from the AI coach also. He can see all the goal dashboard over here, as well as he can see the family dashboard. If he has multiple family members, he has been connected with our app, so he can see the family dashboard over here, where they are in terms of the financial. The design foundation that we have taken, where we have chosen the blue and white color, as you can see, right? So why we have taken, another question comes here, like why we have taken the blue and white. So if you know the blue and white, it's basically always shows the trust, security, and that's why we have taken blue. White always shows simplicity and transparency, and the latest brand like Visa, American Express, if we're talking about, they also know using the blue color. So that's why we have also chosen the blue color over here. And the prototype that we have created over here, that is like this. So if you see here, the moment user will redirected on this, he has connected all his account, he can see the financial detail.
Aman, sorry to interrupt. Your time is up.
Yeah,
Maybe you can take additional 30 seconds and
no, no, that's it,
summarize.
that's it, that's it. I think that's it. This is what we have.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Aman. That's a good
Thank you,
presentation.
everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Now we'll go to the jury's questions and
Hey,
feedback.
Maharajan, I guess we should give them a minute for them to explain the prototype because that is very important for us
Yeah,
to.
I was asking if we can take 30 seconds
Yeah.
additionally, but Aman said
I
he's
think
okay with that.
that's it. I think that this is where user once user connected with the account, all the details he can see over here, and then after he can move to the bursting, the second app where the second page basically where he can see all the whatever the he has decided all in terms of the category wise shopping, entertainment, utility, everything goals picture where he can see the user can see like emergency fund where he is. He has decided like 1,80,000, so 25% he has completed like that. Then he can go to the AI coach also. He can discuss whatever he wants to discuss with AI coach. He can take that help. And the family goals, family picture, family dashboard also he can see over here the members that has been added like Ananya, Rohan, Kiran. So in terms of what's their financial score, that is also Rahul can see over here. So that's pretty much it, I think. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Aman. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to the jury's questions and feedback. First up, we'll start with Divyansha. Your questions and feedback for the team.
Sure. I think the first question is on the TAM. I think that was started with 1.2 billion that got reduced to 555 million. If you can go to that screen. Yeah, number of people who are filing ITR in India today is around 116 million users, right?
Okay.
Do you think the TAM still justifies? Because I am assuming, and that is for true also, that in India, people who are in tier 2, 3, 4, 5 cities still relied on the cash income and they want to spend in cash. The permission that we are asking about the bank, UPI, loans, investments still feel redundant for those users. Hence, the TAM is a question. So, any comments on that?
So over here, when you think about TAM, it's not the end user that you're targeting over here, right? So TAM is just the broader market in picture currently. So if you look at India, yes, maybe not everyone's filing for taxes, but even your population within your tier 2, tier 3 cities, or even let's say a day laborer, right? Everyone has access to phones at this point. Even your auto rickshaw driver, maybe he's not driving, but he still has UPI that he has on his phone. So TAM is not to say that this is the end user who will be using our app, but this is just the overall bigger picture market that we currently have. Our realistic target audience ends up being the 350K that we are targeting in terms of phase one, or at least just to begin with.
Sure.
So
Hence,
that's where
now the
you
question is how you'll be going to solve the problem that is handled with cash right now. That is still a big chunk, at least in India.
so again, right? So our target audience is not, let's say that our target audience is population who is investing or saving on these digital platforms. So let's say someone, even when you went to the say need do that empathy map for you, right? We spoke about how people are using, let's say, Excel sheets or multiple apps. So wherein they're investing in these different tools or platforms, we are trying to solve or consolidate the information for them and not for someone investing in cash. At least that's not the target audience we are going behind.
Sure. Any hybrid approach, if we can follow?
Maybe we could think of it in terms of once we scale this enough and it's a viable product wherein we've seen enough usage, we could perhaps go to the tier two cities or tier two way of investing, which might be a bit more cash driven. But then we might have to connect with, let's say, these chit funds or kitties that people usually end up saving within their local communities. And that might be something you have to think about.
Sure. I think one more, I think one feedback on the flow. There was a permission screen that came up. Uh, can you go to that? The prototype, yeah, this one is enough. The wireframe is enough. We are asking multiple level of permissions in one go. What we have seen, in past in my previous orgs as well as the data, asking too many permissions and these are very sensitive needs to be context control. For example, Definitely, user will not give all permissions in one go. It has to be contextualized in the manner how you want to choreograph it. For example, to ask the bank permission, first you have to ensure that you are actually getting the trust of the users. Now the time is actually the people who are very smart enough with the app, or they hold, their holdings digitally, right? So they'll be very sensitive about that. So you have to choreograph this particular thing in such a way. You can take example of phone pay, credit, how they are building it. Second feedback, I think you can actually read the case study of Power Money. They actually tried this stuff. Now they've pivoted to the mutual fund, managing stuff. They tried this thing only, how they can manage entire A to Z, wealth, sort of wealth management, not the well-being part. So how they pivoted, what are the things that they lacked? I think you can go and see that thing. I think great, and you know, yeah, all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll move to Rakesh, sir, your questions and feedback.
Hey guys, hi. Kind of a pretty very interesting, what is it, problem to solve for today. I feel it's a good kind of an idea that you need to really go and pitch to all the banks. If kind of probably, yes, the solution is there, but I guess it's a bit fragmented. And pretty nice solution to get started. Okay, so example, my first question is, what do you think is the most difficult trade-off, more a design trade-off your team has done as a part of this prototype?
I think it was probably just trying to ensure that the information is there, visible for the user, but it's also easy to understand and not again creating one more complex app for the user, right? Because even when we look at things, if it's not intuitive for you, you tend to lose interest and you drop it off and you don't tend to go ahead with it. So we tried to keep it as easy and as intuitive for them as possible. I think that was the biggest thing in terms of challenge that we were trying to see, that what do we keep, how do we not keep it overwhelming in terms of a lot of information on one screen, and how do we organize that so that it's easy for them to navigate but still understandable.
And
Okay,
we,
sorry, go ahead, please.
yeah, I was saying that we try to incorporate those designs in low fidelity, medium fidelity, and high fidelity. So that is something actually we came up with.
Okay, so during your transition from a low fidelity to a high fidelity, what do you think? Like initially, you would have had an idea. So what changed during the course of the kind of a design approach? Like, so any thoughts to share with us?
So basically, when it comes to low fidelity, generally, a thought came like on a basic level, how should design looks like. So that is something which came in mind, and we designed as per that. Now, as we move on, so we have some more thoughts, and we try to convert or incorporate those changes as high fidelity. There should be one more medium fidelity, but we have not captured that in our slide as of now. But just as example sake, we are highlighting two. Aman, can you go to please one side black? Yeah. So this is something which is low fidelity, and the next one, this is as high fidelity.
Okay, and probably if you just say if you need to be the team that is going to win this designathon, like what would be your pitch? What do you think that you'll be the best team among the rest of the folks who are going to pitch today?
I think probably it could be that we've done our research, we've seen the market, we've spoken to people, and we've come up at a viable solution that positions it to ensure that we actually solve a real problem that the market faces. And we've also designed it in a way which keeps it easy for people to understand. And
And
probably
the
at the end of the day, someone can go to market and be like, hey, my financial problems have been solved for, and it intrigues
And the major
the.
realistic problem is like user cannot see all the financial picture at one place, and they cannot see the family dashboard in any app where they can add all the family members at one place, and they can see all the family pictures. Multiple people are earning in their family or in any one family, so they can see all the pictures at one place. So that is something. And second thing, like they can know nowadays, now every app they want to add some AI financial code, but we have also added, and they can get that personalized nudges also so that people feel confident, like, okay, I'm getting the reminder, I'm getting the kudos from the app also, like, okay, you have achieve whatever the goals you have targeted.
See, considering that you are kind of heavily loving on the AI to kind of share some recommendations and to guide the user to kind of say, example, what is your key principle in kind of plugging AI into this? Are you asking it to just to give some recommendations, or what is is it going to be outcome driven? Like how do you want to position this one?
So for
Because
now, what we have decided, like, it's just for a coach for the user. For the, like, we have taken the persona called Rahul. So for Rahul, it could be like Rahul can talk to financial coach, and they can get whatever corresponding to their financial picture, whatever they wanted to ask, they can ask, and they can suggest, okay, this is how you can know do something else to get your goal, to achieve your goal faster. So that's what the use that we have decided.
okay, I guess just one key factor which what I felt was kind of really missing was the outcome driven kind of an approach. Example, it just because an apps cannot be just like a monologue, it has to be like a dialogue because you need to kind of really kind of give your information now. AI has to proactively suggest something and it should actually end. It cannot be just like a preacher, you get the point, right? It should be outcome driven or and you can kind of really bring in a lot of aspects from a gamification standpoint like because the app looks like super simple. Okay, but that is, I guess, is again a design call that you guys have taken. But I feel that outcome based kind of an approach is missing in the overall solution standpoint.
Okay.
Second, from a product roadmap, also, it looks like a very what do you say? More like a very capsule one, like not like an end-to-end kind of a product that could really kind of bring like a game changer for the end user, right? So I don't know like how many family members will be open to share their financial details on a kind of a collective stuff. So that's also a very interesting thing which I said. It's like a husband and a wife, like how much they
Yeah.
share their financials. So those were pretty interesting, good stuff which I felt. But overall, it was a good show. But I felt, yeah. So those are good. There are kind of good amount of improvements that could be taken up. Yeah. Thanks. Over to you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, Rakesh, for sharing these feedbacks. We'll try to incorporate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We'll hear it from Vatsal, sir.
Hey, so I'll try to keep it quite concise. If you can go to the user flow, right?
User flow, okay. Yeah.
Probably six. No, not this one. Pardon. Go up. Say slide number, I think 16.
16. Okay, user name app. Okay.
Yeah, this map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're calling it out that users are actually cautious and they need solutions that help me free control and all of that, and probably at the understand stage, right? I would love to see that in the final interface that you've shown, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be great if you can like map these things to actual interface where you're actually building that trust, actually addressing those worries that user has.
Mm-hmm.
Why, if the user is cautious, how are you solving for this cautiousness? So what I see in current user interface is you started to log in. The moment login, you asked users to connect
Correct.
to other applications, but you didn't justify why they should connect,
Right.
what value will it add for them, right? So I think it starts with first building the trust at that stage, right?
Agree.
I think I would have encouraged, I would have liked it if we would have first built trust, right? Second to the leg is, I think most of us are aware that probably all of us have taken at least few goals in our lives, and probably you continued it for a week and they've dropped it after that, right?
Correct.
So what are the steps in terms of how the product is actually, see, problem is not saving is solvable problem, right?
Yeah.
It's the motivation that is required to save. That's where the problem lies. So
Correct.
what are the steps in terms of interface that's actually helping, or the product is actually helping them to stick on to their goal? Just
Right.
showing a progress bar may not help, is what my perception is, right? So I would have hoped if we would have translated the user journey map as is into that thing, right? And rightly said by, I think, I believe, Divyansh also, and he pointed out that TAM issue, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still quite skeptical about the actual TAM, because
Mm-hmm.
people who are actually able to do net banking
Mm-hmm.
versus UPI versus other things, right? And how easy it is for them to allow any other app to connect to their personal stuff. I think the TAM probably, or rather, SOM is going to be much smaller.
Got it.
That
To be,
essentially is my
yeah.
feedback. But yeah, open to comments.
I think we even looked at what the current financial platforms are in the market and how many users they do have. So we did see that even your apps like ET Money, Ind Money, they have roughly 12 to 10 million in active
Correct.
user base that they have. And so even when you look at our song is at 28 million. So we are not very far off, at least in terms of what the current market penetration looks like
So
for these
wait,
existing players. So at
yeah,
least
okay.
that's where we are coming from.
Hmm. Yeah, but what trying to say is they have a backing of another, another platform already running. They already know that space for them. For entering into a new player, probably it will be much smaller.
Yeah, that's why I
That
think our first was like 350K, a small
yeah,
population, easy enough to
mm,
sort of target there.
yeah, makes
But
sense.
no, very well
Mm,
feedback in terms of, I think, the user journey map. We'll
Correct.
try to
yeah.
incorporate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vatsal sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
team. All right. So now we'll go to the scores, right? Vivian sir, your scores for the team 1 out of 5.
We have to message somewhere or we have
No,
to
you
call
can
it?
announce it. You can just say it loud.
Sure. It will be 4.
Before? Okay.
4.
Rakesh sir, your scores?
Three.
No, I didn't hear you.
It's 3.
Okay, 3. Okay. Vatsal sir, your scores for the team?
Um, are we doing fractions?
We can do that.
Okay, 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. All right. Time to go for the audience poll right now. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So, audience, please scan the QR code in front of your screen and cast your votes for Team 1. You have 20 seconds. Is everyone done? Thumbs up, maybe? All right. Yeah. Let's move on then. All right. That's your audience poll, Team 1. Wishing you all the best. Yeah. Let's move to the next team, which is Swati, Rekha, and Shilpa Patil.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
So who
Thank
is
you.
presenting?
It's Swati Rekha. So I don't have
Who's
Shilpa with
presenting
me
this?
today. It's Swati Rekha. So I don't have Shilpa with
Okay.
me. So I'll be presenting alone.
Okay. Yeah. I'm giving you the co-host now.
Sure.
Yeah. You can go ahead, Swati. Yes.
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, can I go ahead?
Yes. Please start. Yeah.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Swati Rekha. So, I'll be presenting a gifting app.
Swati, can you just close that window if you don't mind? Yeah, so you can just focus on
Okay,
it.
sure.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah.
Is it okay? Okay.
Yeah, works. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, so I'll be presenting the gifting app. So yeah, so think of last time when you forgot your loved one's birthday and you remembered other night at 11 o'clock. So what you generally do is like, take a mobile, scroll for some options and, nothing fits right. So what you do is like, you pick something generic or like you send a message instead and then convince yourself saying like you can catch it up later. Okay, so that's one scenario, and think of other scenario where your friends group wanted to pool a money for a gift, and and that has been done through WhatsApp. Okay, so what happens is like some of them they forgot to pay their contribution, and the other people like other some person like he'll come and ask after 3 days like what did we even decide. So actually what is happening today is like there is lots of exhaustion in coordinating for the gifting than the gift itself. So let's coming to the, and in India we celebrate lot of festivals, so gifts are not only for festivals. So add on the occasions like birthdays, wedding anniversaries and the personal milestones. So each individual actually juggles with 15 plus occasions every year, and the occasions are totally different and they cannot overlap, the gifts cannot overlap. So the issue, I'm sorry, okay. uh, the gifting today feels often broken. The problems we have is like we forget the dates, and we browse a lot of time, and in struggling to find a gift, and there is a lot of chaos in group gifting. So if you see the market, and India's gifting market is around $75 billion, and it's heading towards actually $92 billion by 2030. And out of that, 5%, less than 5% is thoughtful or personalized gift. And when you see the online gifting option, it is actually growing by 16%. Whereas people are ready for online gifting, but we really don't have any platform or a product which actually fulfills all the users needs. Okay, so having said that, we have come up with an application called Kindred, so which actually remembers what others have forgotten. It actually recommends what others struggle to decide, and it also coordinates for group gifting. And we have done lots of user research, and based on the user research we have come up with personas. Okay, so first persona is Komal, like she is a mother of two kids working in a IT service and based out of a tier 2 city and aged 45. So if I have to explain her, so she is a money conscious person. Okay, and her behaviors include like juggling between work life balance, and she spends money cautiously and deliberately. So the next thing is like she wanted to treat both her kids fairly and equally. The pain points which we got from her is like, for example, in a situation where an occasion comes, she rushes and overspends in last minute, and kids shows tantrum during the gift selection, and difficulty in coordinating group gifting. And out of all these, her satisfaction level is very low when it comes to the gifting outcomes. And next meet our next persona, who is Priya. So she is a working professional based out of Hyderabad, and like she is 26 aged. And to describe her, she is always busy. She has a very busy schedule where she has no bandwidth to browse. She actually relies on other reminders and also other suggestion for the gift. So the pain points from her is like she's actually paralyzed with too many options online, forget what she has gifted previously, and like misses occasion and feels genuinely guilt. So, and one other pain point what she faces is like, WhatsApp group gifting is chaotic. Okay, so and we have used a 5S approach in coming 5S approach and coming to our strategy. So in building the strategy, we have taken these two personas as a target audience. And so despite being in a different life stages, these two persons, they wanted something which in which they can maintain social and human connection in this digitally busy world. And they wanted to cherish the traditional and the cultural rituals and express appreciation as a sign of gratitude. And having said that, so now coming to the scope, and we have scoped in few features. So for our application Kindred, so which is a smart event calendar, which actually tracks the birthdays, anniversaries, and festivals for all contacts, and sends a proactive reminders days in advance. So you are never caught off got. And then like there is something called as a group gifting pool, so which creates a shared gifting pool, invite contributors, and tracks everything in a organized place. So there is an option of wish list creation, where the users create personal wish list and share it with the family and the loved ones. And but this actually helps, there is no guess for what someone wants actually. And then gift recommender, we actually can create a profile for the for our family or friends in the application, and based on the profile and the based on the interest and the details in the profile, so the app suggests 3 to 5 curated gifts based on the profile, and this actually reduces the fatigue instantly. And there is an option of gift log, where like track what was gifted previously, so that it eliminates the repetition. So there is a option called as a budget optimizer, a small budgeting tool that helps user plan and manage their gifting expense throughout the year. So these are the scopes for our application. And coming to the MVP, so we have scoped in a couple of features, so which is the smart event calendar, gift recommender, group gifting, and gift history log. So other features were considered will be considered for future. And moving on to the journey map, so Komal, initially she was bit stressed because of the money pressure and the kids tantrums, but few features like budget optimizer and the gift pooling has brought her feelings to relieved and proud. And next, the journey of Priya. So Priya was little anxious initially. So, but then each and every feature, gave her confidence, and like her feelings are really moved to a proud state. This is all about the user journey. And coming to the user flow, so we have kept it very simple. To reduce the friction. So onboarding flow, it's just like a welcome screen, login option with authentication, and then a user will be taken to the main screen. Okay, and here comes the smart event calendar flow. So where as soon as a user enters, like we will be displaying a calendar. So this actually gives the immediate value perception, and the complete user flow is designed, demonstrated based on the progressive disclosure. And if you can see the set reminders, so we have a preset option of sending the reminders either on the 7th, 5th, or the third days. But then we also have given option for the users to select to update their reminders like whenever they want. So this is basically to strike a balance between automation and agency. And next, coming to the pool gifting flow. At the start, like we have create or join. So this is a folk pattern. So we have used folk pattern, where at the early stage, like we have to decide a clear flow. And there is also a feedback loop, which is for validating if the pool is fully funded. Okay, and next is the validation gate. So unless the condition is met, the purchase is not allowed. So this is on the structure part. And coming to the skeleton, yes, there are few wireframes which we have created. Maybe I'll rather than wireframes, I'll take you to the application so that we can. Okay, so is the application visible? Can someone confirm?
Yes, yes, it's
Yeah,
visible.
thank you. So I'm just creating. So I think I just need some time. So before the server is up, like I'll take you through the uh, feature comparison part. Okay, so there are a few players like Ferns and Petals, India Gifting Portal, and Amazon or Flipkart. So Amazon or Flipkart, they are not the direct competitors because they are generic e-commerce platform. But then FNP and IPG, so there are actually kind of a competitors, but they mostly concentrate on their product catalog and delivery. But whereas our product, it actually
Yeah,
concentrates on
Swati,
the,
sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
Your time is up. Maybe you
sure.
can
So
take additional 30 seconds.
sure, experience and coordination. Our application is mainly on the experience and the coordination. I'll just check if I can demo the. Sorry for this. Okay, so this is the calendar access. You can directly go over here and set up any of the events, whatever you want to set. So I'll take you through the application. So here is the circle wherever you want to add, like you can add a person, and if you want to add any events, you can add it. Wish list also can be added, and there is a pool where like you can start creating a pool and select for whom you're creating the pool and what's the occasion. So you can give the target amount, deadline, and then if there is any option for the gift ideas, like you can do and create a pool. So others like with whomever you are creating the pool will be able to see this, and then they'll be able to go with the configuration. Yeah, I'll wind up here and stop sharing.
Thank you, Swati. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move to the jury's questions and feedback. First up, we'll start with Rakesh sir. Your questions and feedback.
Sorry. Yeah, okay. So that's Swati, right? Yeah, okay. Swati, like, say example, it was a very interesting kind of feel-good app that you've built. Would everyone would love to get a gift on their special day. But for to get started, say in terms of like how are you building the semantics, the semantic layer? Example, you are a user, okay, we need to know, okay, we need to give a gift, and probably like I'm just kind of still one, the demo was not fully done, so there's a lot of exceptions. We really don't know what could it really into in that particular demo was like incomplete, I would say.
Yeah.
So just trying to understand, say, how are you building the semantics, like with the world of AI, which is evolving, where you can really understand the user preferences like in a much better way. So what's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so if I have to tell that, the way we have planned to build is like, see, for example, if I'm a user, so I'll go to the app and I create my contacts. So when I say contacts, like, see, I'll create the person like for whom I want to gift, and also there can be an integration with my contacts already. So with the phone contacts or something. So for example, so I wanted to gift it to my mom. Okay, so I
Yes,
create a profile.
let's kind of just be very precise to what you've built. Okay,
Okay.
because we can definitely bring in a lot of aspects which
Haha,
later,
okay.
but I
So
just
if I
let's
want
stick on to
to,
the solution what you've built.
sure. So if I want to gift it to my mom, so I go and add her as a add her preferences. Okay, add her preferences, and maybe like if I add her preferences, like I'll get a suggestion. So there will be AI integration, and I'll get a suggestion on so what all I can gift it to her. Okay, so that's the idea, like what we have
Yeah.
done.
So my question is, how are you building the semantics? Like, what is the backend logic which you're trying to
Uh,
kind of going to plug in so that you know that your mom's these are the preferences of the product that your mom would like because that
so that's
yeah.
we are, I mean, so till now, like we haven't built it, but then like the idea we have is like we are going to use AI, wherein like it gives us some summary based on the hobbies and the interest, like whatever I have already added in the system.
Okay. Okay. So just next question, say in terms of you were talking about automation and all that stuff as a part of your demo. So
Mhm.
can you tell us in any one kind of a journey where you're plugging automation into this?
Okay, so the thing is like, see, for example, the for the example whatever I gave, so we have a pre-selected option. So there is a user flow
Can you just
where,
show us if you
yeah.
don't mind as we speak?
Okay. I'm not sure if this is right. So it's again setting a reminder.
Are
Okay,
you showing
so
something? I'm not able to see, sorry.
okay, yes, I'm showing.
I don't know. Others are able to see the screen.
No, I think screen is not
No,
shared yet.
Swati, it is not
Oh,
It's
okay,
still
presented.
not shared,
okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I think
Yeah, now it's visible, I guess. Yeah.
uh,
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
okay, so this is the place I was mentioning. I'm not sure if the verse flow is correct. So this is set a reminder. So I might, I mean, so what we have built is like, I'll be able to set a reminder. Okay, so if I'm a user, so
Show
I
on the
have a
product, please.
pre-select.
Can you just show me on the product if you can?
Sorry,
Like, can you just show on the product if you can? Like,
on the product,
which
I'm.
particular part are you talking about? No, the MVP, whatever you built.
So I don't think so. Like we have all these features at, it's a kind of a prototype, like whatever I showed it. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's about setting the reminders. Okay, so I have a predefined dates. So that is a kind of an automation. But then like I give user an option to select a date, select the days in which like he or she wants the notification to be. So that's what I was referring to actually.
Okay, I just pass on to the next
Okay.
jury. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We'll move to Vatsal, sir. Your questions and feedback.
Sure. Uh, hey, great idea.
Mhm.
I would have also liked it, like Rakesh mentioned, that, and maybe I'm overreaching in terms of suggesting, but what if, and I'm just sharing my idea into a what if statement, right?
Uh-huh.
So what if AI could, you could describe the person and your relationship with that person in a very generic, non-linear, like a paragraph. You could explain that person, this is the person, this is how much affectionate you are about that person, right? And that could be interpreted by AI, and then based on that, the interests, the kind of gifts, the kind of budget that you may have, those kind of things could have been part of the conversation, right? And instead of reminders being set by us, maybe the reminders could be set according to how much time it takes probably to reach certain goods to those destinations, or certain gifts to those destinations, right? And see, and maybe this is an insight that I personally have, is I it's not just about gifting, but how much thought has been put in into that gifting. So if I'm just delegating this specific thing, which is very personal to me, that I would want those gifts to be actually imitating me in terms of my persona, about how do I gift and what is the kind of gifts that I would give, right? Because it's a very intimate thing. I'm gifting some things to someone, right? I don't want it just saying I'll just gift it randomly to somebody, but I do expect it to actually think about, various other aspects beyond just saying this is the budget, this is various categories or hobbies. Does that make sense?
Yes, but maybe to answer your question, so it's not, it's just a suggestion like what we are getting out of it. But if I
Yeah.
personally want to give someone what I already have in mind, I still can go ahead. But for the people who are running out of time and who really have no time to think like in the last minute if they want to gift anything, I think those suggestions will definitely help.
So that's where I'm getting at is,
Mm.
if I want to delegate, I want to make sure that it knows the person in and out, and it knows my relationship with that person in and out. So
Okay.
hence there will be not much of a deviation as to what I am actually would gift, or rather
Mhm.
what my AI counterpart would gift.
Okay.
If that could be a solution, because what you've suggested is a combination of me putting reminder plus me putting in efforts to put those budgets and constraint, which is, I think, probably a web 2.0 kind of a solution, where I would put in those values and then expect, because I have only set those values, there is a simple logic where it can send me a reminder. There is a simple logic where it can actually send me a gift based on that if and else logic.
Mhm.
So with today's day and age, I would expect AI to actually contribute more to my decision making than just being an assistant. Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
But
Thank you.
I think idea direction is quite great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vatsal. Okay, we'll move to Divyan, sir. Your questions and feedback, sir.
Hi, Swati. I think something that needs to be solved, you know, like for a person like me who actually forget dates, that's the first problem. And gifting part. So I think what I think close to what Vatsal Sal and Rakesh are at it. So I think I have suggestions on three sides of thing, both on the
Okay.
sender side, receiver side, and on the platform. So I think if we pick you know sender side first, I think the first problem that you actually called out was a lack of time. You
Mhm.
know, I think uh, adding that layer that we have to pass on the information and have to remember dates. We have to. So the first friction is that you have to enter the dates, enter the persona, and then you will actually expose to the the solution of that. So the first, I think, the first layer is itself a friction. I feel. Uh, I think this can be automated, or maybe the real problem to solve or not. I think what Vatsal sir and Rakesh sir at it, I think, should be the right feedback. I think the second point is on the receiver end. I think what Vatsal sir told, okay, the receiver is the what you're shipping is actually the right thing or not. I think that needs to be documented, or maybe have to be passed on with a layer of a feedback, maybe in terms of scalability. I'm thinking. I
Mhm.
think on the platform side, like uh, how you are planning to manage the catalog. Like it will be in house, or it will be through some agencies that you will tie up, or through some e-com that you will tie up to. So maybe an example that IGP and FNP have their own catalog. They manage
Mhm.
everything in house, and they're able to take that particular pinch of salt of getting things damaged, or maybe FNP and IGP mostly sells cakes and flowers as their niche, right?
Flashes. Mhm.
So they are able to take the risk of, if they are not delivered on time or at the right place, or maybe they got damaged in between. So what is the plan to manage catalog?
So for now, I mean, we are planning for some vendors. Okay, so as a third party, but yeah, so that level of thought, like it has not still gone into the application. So as we are still in the initial stage, but then definitely, it's not going to be in-house.
Sure.
That's yeah.
Sure. So I think then few more suggestions on that.
Uh-huh.
Managing vendors, I think, of course, it's a cost,
Yes.
saving method to actually enter to the market. I think then the catalogs is a big question, because then you have a limited catalog needs to be delivered at time, because then the vendors will not assure you that this particular thing will be delivered to the tier 3 or 4 city at the same pin code, because pin code then is a problem.
Mhm.
In house feels suffice. Okay, there are ways to actually do that through various shipping vendors, of course, but that depends upon how much time it will take. Let's suppose
Exactly.
I want to deliver a cake or maybe flowers to some of the tier 4, that vendors will say it'll take 5 days. Doesn't make sense, right? So I think then your cataloging is actually concise, and you have to make sure that this actually goes on the time. So in that case, your sender side will affect on the basis of pin codes. So I think there needs to be a solution on all the three ends in an MVP only. I don't,
Mhm.
there is no P0 that we have to prioritize. I think all the three ends needs to be solved together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so point noted. Thank you. Thanks for this feedback.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Time for scores. We'll start with Rakesh, sir. Your scores for Swati out of 5.
Uh, my score will be like before I tell the score, I feel all of you folks, okay, there are a few things as a product leader that all of you guys need to evangelize. Example is more like of a learning. Like I just want to tell, say example, all your solutions should really have an outcome driven kind of a model. Example, what I'm trying to achieve through this app, because most of the solutions were not end to end tailored well. It doesn't have an outcome. It's pretty kind of somewhere in the stages. Second, the solution design itself. Example, in this particular thing, like what Swati was talking about, so example, it had a lot of open ends basically, and there were a lot of assumptions. So probably even if it's going to be an MVP, I would recommend you folks to kind of really focus in building a solution that has tangible kind of a model which has good conversions, which are really converting like what you really want to achieve through products. So probably that was missing. And with the age of AI and the disruption that's happening in the world, this particular solution was looking way too dated. It was very old school, I mean, old school, I would say. So, like what Vatsal was talking about, and Divyansh was talking about, it's kind of the 2.0. So, probably you really need to think about how AI could really kind of bring in the backend logics, how you can bring in more kind of a disruption in the way of the thought process for a person to get a gift. So, I feel the overall kind of a solution design requires a bit of relook. So Swati, I feel definitely some bit of a homework has to be done. For the possible these reasons, I'm just going to rate it as one. So I felt it was not an end-to-end solution. Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you, sir. What's also your score?
Yeah, maybe 1.5. I just want to encourage them. They can do better, but yeah, 1.5.
Thank you. Thank you. Divyan, sir, your scores.
Two for me. Yeah.
2. All right. All right. So we'll move to the audience poll right now. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. Everyone, please scan the QR code and cast your votes for Swati. You have 20 seconds. Yep, everyone is done. Need some time. All okay?
Done.
Okay, yeah, we'll move on. Yeah, that's your audience poll, Swati. All the best. We'll move to the third team, which is the final team for the day, which is Vijit, Lijesh, Arun, and Devaprat. Team three, you guys ready?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so can you help me with who's presenting the screen?
Yeah, Maharajan Lijesh, I will be presenting the screen.
Okay, Lijesh. Yeah, you can start now.
Okay,
All the way.
okay. Thank you. So before we start, just a quick framing. We are Team FitGen and we are going to present a fitness app today. Okay, and not the entire product journey, only the slice which talks about the UI, UX, and the product design, how we found a problem, and how we designed for it. So we are here actually for guidance. We have made some bets on our beliefs and we are going to present the same to you. And by the end of this presentation, we want from you is to tell us what we have done wrong. Okay, so please poke holes, and that's the whole point we being here. So with that, I'll present my screen. Um, Hope you guys can see it. So this is FitGen, a GenAI powered fitness and wellness coach. The aim is to blend with the week of the personas, not to go against it. So before I'll not directly tell about what the app do, I'll start with the problem statement that we found. So we took about 11 interviews from age group of about 25 to 35, working professionals in metros, and we found all the working professionals wanted to be fit and they are realistically doing it. But the only thing that was failing was how the apps are and whatever the gaps are there in the app. So the three problem statement that we found was one, there was no one-stop solution. Second, the if life happened, the apps were not flexible. And the third thing that we found out was either the applications were too generic or they were too cumbersome. And if they were cumbersome, the thing was they were overpriced for the same. So we had a thing in our mind that how to start, and for that we used the 5S approach. And the plan was that we always go through all the 5 stages: strategy, scope, structure, skeleton, and surface. Anything that we are designing should not be on hunch, and everything that is built should be from what the users have told us in the interviews that we have taken or the research that we have done. So the two major personas, or the two personas that we found out from all the research that we have done was Rohan, a stretched working professional who know what to do, but the only thing is he needed a plan that will blend with his week. Second was Ariana, a performance optimizer. She didn't need motivation. She want that everything, all the clusters should be there in one app together. So you see two opposite end. Rohan who want consistency, Ariana who want basically optimization. So our main design challenge was how to get these two things in one single screen or one default. So with this, I'll hand it over to Arun to take you through that how we clubbed these two personas and developed a solution around it. Arun?
Thanks, Lajesh. Next slide. So from our interviews, we consolidated the findings into the UCD canvas. So three patterns stood out for us. One, users struggled with consistency because the work, personal or other schedules got in the way. Two, existing fitness apps were fragmented. And third, most apps were focused on aesthetics rather than long-term well-being. One major emotional aspect we identified was the fear of failing again. So these insights shaped the value proposition, which is one integrated fitness experience that adapts to the user instead of expecting the user to adapt to the system. So the next question was, where exactly do users give up? Next slide. So we've mapped the user journey and identified that the biggest drop-off happens during the consistency phase. That's right after users miss out on their workouts because of work or personal commitments. So existing apps treat this as a failure, and we saw this as a big design opportunity. So instead of restarting the plan, FitGen automatically rebalances the remaining week schedule. This helps the user recover rather than quit. This insight directly influenced what we needed to build first. So in terms of differentiators, our MVP focuses on just 3 differentiators. First is auto-adjusting workout plans. Second is Indian context nutrition recommendation. And third, a single integrated dashboard for workouts, meals, and progress. Next slide. So using the Moscow framework, we have translated the problems into user stories. Our must-have stories solve our biggest user problem, like automatically adjusting plans after a missed workout and delivering a personalized plan within a matter of 2 minutes. A lot of good to have features like wearables, community, advanced analytics, etc., has been intentionally postponed since we wanted to validate our core assumption, which is adaptive planning improves consistency. So every feature in FitGen can be traced back to our interviews, user pain points, and product prioritization. Over to Devrath to discuss the roadmap and demonstration.
Yeah. Thanks, Arun. So everything Arun has just described, it isn't a mock-up. It's a build. Actually, 13 clickable screens, 3 real task flows. First plan is about in 90 seconds and workout logged in seconds. And when we miss a day, that moment that matters. The plan rebuilt itself in a 35 seconds. So Bijit is going to take you through in just a moment. But first, 2 quick things you should know about how we would take this forward. Next slide. Yeah, because here's our honesty. So this is design validated with users, not yet business proven in the market. So here's how we would de-risk it next. A 30% concise test over 4 weeks, a safety review of 50 plus AI generated plans by a real trainer, nutritionist, and a pricing test also done. And we will say our scariest assumptions out loud. That true auto adjust design actually keeps people coming back, and that the AI says stays safe. If either wrong, we want to know fast, and honestly, that's exactly the kind of thing we will be asking your guidance on shortly. So one quick note. Next slide. Yeah. So on one quick note before Vijit shows you the real thing, everything from here is a design workings to the full journey, the flow logic, every screen. It's all here if you want to dig into any of the discussions. Next slide. And this is the full journey bend, the drop off of Arjun showed you. 5 phases, the mood line, syncing right at consistency, the deep is the entire reason auto adjust exists. Every design decisions tracks back to this one human moment. Over to Vijit to show you the its demo.
Thanks, Devrath. I'll just quickly take you through um, the onboarding flow. So this is what the experience looks like for the user. Onboarding is deliberately kept simple. One question per screen, basically when you go and sign up. So this is just to capture what we understand about the user, trying to understand what kind of schedule they have, what are their goals, what is the kind of home equipment that they have to do the workouts, what's the diet like that they prefer. And this essentially helps us build the personalized plan within 2 minutes. Going to the next slide. Yeah, the daily use flow. So once they're in, everything comes together in one experience. So workouts, the specific Indian contextual meals, nutrition, the progress tracking, everything is shown in one single place. And most importantly, the plan adapts as per your as per your schedule basis. Let's say you miss a day in between, the plan is automatically adjusted, and that's the USP that we are going in with. Now, just to show you a proper interactive demo, let's go and look at the prototype. So this is the first screen. This is where you essentially sign up. So you can use Google, you can use other applications to create an account. Then we start collecting data. This is just basic data. We just want to understand the user. We can keep going. Yeah. Right. So once you've captured all the data, essentially you will be taken to the home screen. Right. So on this home screen, you'll be able to see that everything that you need comes here. And you can straight away
start working out. So if you press the start workout, essentially it shows you your week. It shows you some data externally. If you can go forward, yeah. And this is where the actual workout starts. So you will actually get a video. You will get a proper schedule of what needs to be done today. Yes, you can watch the video like this. Next, please. Yeah. And this is your diet. So essentially, once you have that diet, you can press plus to essentially add that, okay, you've taken that diet essentially, and you have multiple options there, so you can choose. And this is the progress. So this is essentially where the entire KPI that you're trying to track comes down to. Now let's so now let's just look at basically what the USP is. So essentially, let's say you miss a day in between, right? This is the sort of screen that will show up, and essentially it'll ask you, right, a few basic things like how are you feeling, etc. And it goes and adjusts your entire week schedule for you. So that's it from FitGen. I just wanted to add that the application essentially shows you that the plan bends with your week and not against it. Thank you.
Thank you, team. It's a good presentation and on time. Yeah. We'll start with Vatsal, sir. Your questions and feedback, sir.
Hi. Great presentation. Congratulations on concluding it on time. And I had few feedbacks, right? So if you can show me the interface, right? Yeah, please share the interface. I'll show you while I'll pinpoint where I think we could.
Yes, sir.
So two, three things, right? One is when you're saying that we are using AI and all of that, I didn't see that in action here. When we're saying we're adjusting the plan, right? So, yeah, I didn't see that here in terms of action. What I would have expected is it actually asking me in terms of conversations to figure out saying in terms of low, medium, high, or anything, and then adjusting the plan accordingly. Like maybe that would be a better approach than actually making it, because a lot of times what happens is my low versus your low versus the intensity of the low itself is quite different. Able to tailor that experience. One. Second is in terms of meals, right? It's not that you're not able to document. It's the sometimes the volume itself is a problem. Like you're eating the right things, but the volume that you're consuming is actually not great, right? So maybe we should be able to ask people to document them more, visually, and then tell them saying, look, you're eating too much rice, or you're eating, these things less, right? Um, Second is, again, I'm saying we are in the age of AI, right? Instead of asking me details in a form, please start having conversations with your customers. Please start having conversations with your users, and try to extract data from there. Like instead of asking data only in a very linear format, that should be very organic. I mean, the expectation should be that people are actually sharing it in very organic manner, right? Uh, And I think one more step. Could you please go to the presentation where it was all the screens were present?
Yes, sir. It's here as well.
ये लोग जैसे राइस कहते हैं. Yeah, so राइस जो है here उसकी जो प्रॉपर्टीज हैं वो 70% खत्म हो जाती हैं. जैसे राइस पॉलिशर के अंदर जाती है. Just give me 1 second. और पॉलिशर के अंदर अगर नहीं जाएगी तो क्या है Cool. ये पॉलिशर में जाएगी. Yeah, I think I've covered that. I think I've already shared what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Okay.
Professor, just one thing. When you were saying with respect to data extraction, do you want that this app to be more conversational, how all the apps are now going to be? Like rather than selecting, you just keep on telling in like in a chat box. Like every app has now some chat box in there. So you want that conversation piece here. Uh, is that what you're looking for, or that is that what the context meant when you said conversation? Professor, you are on mute.
So you're on mute, sir. Yeah.
Sorry. If you look at the first part of the screens, right?
Yes.
That all of that information is part of the conversation.
Yes.
Tell me about you. How do you work
Yes.
out? What's your goal? Right? Those
Yes.
are part of the conversation instead of me trying to fit in all of those information in a more, how do I say,
Okay.
format.
Got.
Right?
So basically that will reduce the number of screens that we have, but everything you're getting via conversation, like one
Correct.
after other. Okay. Got it, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the input.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
encourage your users. One very small thing.
Yes, sir.
Encourage your users. Motivate your users.
Okay. So actually that is the plan with the auto edges. So when you click on auto edges, what it is happening is it is going and
All
updating
right.
your workouts. So that was the plan, but I get what you're trying to say. It's not coming exactly here.
No. So what I'm saying is, so when you're showing that, when somebody's trying to go to plan
Yes.
adjustment, right? Maybe you can show the very famous diagram about what do we mean by consistency.
Oh,
Like
understood.
consistency is not every day doing 100%, but some days it's okay to do 90 or 70, and it is okay. So make sure that you empathize with your users and say, hey, look, it's okay. You're here, we are adjusting your plan. That's fair. But we are also empathizing with you, and life happens. So
Understood.
that's something that needs to be communicated to the user.
Got it, Professor. Very well said. Thank you.
Right, so I think so. If I have to summarize, essentially, we should pass on some nudges to the customer, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move to Divyansh, your questions and feedback.
Yeah. So I think one feedback is on the onboarding. I think adding to what what sir is trying to say. Uh, sure, we have to ask name, age, the weight, or maybe the equipment, etc. But I think there needs to be more concise. We should ask about what are the individual injuries, food restrictions, or medical history. I think people who are tech savvy want to use app for the fitness. I'm assuming more busy persona, etc. stuff needs to be taken care of. That's one part. I think this will actually help you to. I think Vatsal wants to say something.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but I just remembered the third point. Uh, Please make sure whenever you're doing these kind of analysis, right? Please make sure you're thoroughly analyzing all of your competitors,
Yeah.
because I believe there are apps which are doing what you're trying to solve for. Yeah.
Uh, some features, so what you're mentioning is there. Yes, like in the competitive analysis, what Arun shared. Yes, we have some features which are there in other app, but not as a whole package. So we are not saying that our app is only the solution for only solution for the things that we have pitched, but some
So
are that is only with us, sir.
I'll tell you the context, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you're putting it out there, you have planned for a persona, right?
Yes, sir.
You will, for each persona, if you mention what apps do they use currently, so
Okay.
they are, whenever they are going to compare you, they're going to compare you with that set of applications. So it needs to be comparable to that,
Understood, sir. Right
because
point, sir.
they will put you in that bucket and say, hey, look, out of these three apps, should I choose FitGen out of these four apps, right?
Okay.
And for them, the
Basically,
answer should be that.
basically
Yeah. Thank you.
persona based application and the competitors which are there, so that will basically benefit, okay, where we are standing actually.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Right, sir.
Yeah. So I was saying that we have to focus on individual things. I think the injuries or the food intake they want, and if they have some medical history out there. For example, Like you will suggest me go for leg day, but right now I can't do that because I've been advised not to do some major exercise because of some sensory right? So that's one part. I think the second part, which is the motivation factor for the user to actually come to the app, because lot of things I know. The first thing is to market, position it. I'll come to that particular positioning part. But I think what will be the key motivation, I know we'll send nudges, we'll try to shame them, whatever tactics that we will do. But I think motivation at each level, that actually this will help you and solve your problem, rather than suggesting them a plan. And that actually adds up a point on trust, both on the user side as well as how we are promoting through app. Because trust, you know as a factor, that too connected with your personal health, I think it's a major blocker, I would say, for someone who wants to crack the health industry. Yeah. So there are ways to actually solve the trust. One says, definitely you can do, we have certified trainers, we have plan, documented, we have many uh, you know I think official letters from the government, approvals that we have. But definitely you have to do more things beyond, how uh, cult is there, not solved properly. But that is one thing. Like here, starting motivation of, maybe taking the leap. Okay, we'll try to improve our health. Everyone has it, but I think the gyms are also running in that model, yearly subscription, because they know only 20 days a year people will show up. I think you can just check out the, cult cult I think check-ins. People who actually enroll for cult, 40% they never show up. The 60% show up only 24 days a year. I'm not talking about the high motivators, right? So I think being an offline setup, still they are not able to bring that particular trust. So that's one part. I think the I think the fourth part will be on the positioning side. I think you have to bit curious. You have to bit cautious, not curious, to understand how the fitness right now in India. If the positioning is the Bay Area, I think that's a different story. In India, I think lot of trust builds from having the offline center or some offline touch base that user can go and feel the trust. That's one part. And how I feel that is important right now, because cult actually started with that philosophy of having the online sessions and whatnot. uh, bought that cure, eat fit into the picture to deliver meals, but end up opening the offline centers to actually match both the needs, online and offline. Definitely sure, cult, once you take the subscription, you have access to gyms, you have access to classes and the online materials that you have. I think I would say the behavior shift you have to do, and you have to invest a lot, if you want to solve that particular problem. I think that's very important. The behavior shift, when we actually say, because every app in the fitness is trying to do a behavior shift. For example, they were old school. If we talk about 2016, 2014, there was no, I would say, sense of urgency on the health side to the mass market. There were few people who were aware of the health, and they wanted to make sure they're actually doing many things apart from getting onto the road for a run, or maybe getting a treadmill at home. People are more cautious about their meals, protein intake right now, penetrated not in the tier 1 metro, but to the other cities and across age group, right? Then your responsibility actually increases, right? So previously the responsibility was to open a gym, to open an offline center or a nutrition consultants, and giving it to the right place. But now the responsibility is huge, the market is huge. The proper way to do it is to have a trust, both on the buyer and the seller side. Of course, the supplements or the meals that you are giving in. Also, I think what Vatsal sir was trying to say, more conversational, so that you can personalize the needs of the user. you know Maybe you can start building the trust. Like people, I've seen people who never shows up to the gym but have a very healthy diet to actually maintain them. That's also a way to be healthy. Not the gym, or maybe not the live sessions are very interactive, not the yoga is necessary. I think the building of that base, that you can actually go to that market and lift them up, rather than people who actually enroll to the cult and goes to the gym, converting them. So the one, I think, key takeaway, I think everyone should get it. Don't try to don't try to make product that actually takes other apps customers. you know Try to make sure that you actually create a category either, or you have to solve the real problem that other customers are not have solved, and they're dropping off from their base, right? So I think this is the main thing that I think everyone should realize. Don't try to take others customers. Build your own, and ace the market. I think I have I think uh, was right at the time when I've just I just shared 30 seconds, case study with what we did, try to solve at the phone pay level. So what Paytm did, they actually educated entire India how to use the UPI payment, right? But their problem was they actually penetrated to n number of business lines, and they lose focus on what payment needs to be solved in India, right? Phone Pay did it really well. They have not invested in how use UPI payments, but rather than investing that people should try using the UPI payments, right? And they have built their own customer set, not acquired or somewhat, right? So Paytm was much earlier. They have a 9% UPI market share, whereas the phone pay is around clocking at 50% market share. That's a different story. But my sense is, and what my belief is, that we should create our own category and your own customer base, and that too will start from very baby steps, and the basic step that you start trying to get the customer win or the trust through this category of business line. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll move to Rakesh, sir. Yeah, Rakesh, sir, your questions and feedback.
Hey guys, hi. First and foremost, a brilliant show. I mean, a couple of key points that I just want to kind of really touch upon as a part of this kind of a pitch. One, the depth of the solution was really good. Really good means there was a clarity of the idea, the power of the idea. So it was kind of connecting all the dots in a very well fashion. And there was a completeness. I felt that is what kind of really stood this kind of thing. Second, in terms of the UI was good. Had a very clean UI, the kind of like except the colors with the new kind of age fitness apps that you get to see was slightly looking a bit dated, but I felt the UI, at least the construct or the skeleton part and the logic part of it was pretty well tailored well. Kudos to the team. And say one thing which I really felt was super missing was the AI. Okay, I don't know where the AI was there. I was not able to really find the AI kind of a quotient there. So that was a minus because you can just really do some wonders with AI and the health kind of a collab. Like now Virat is wearing a meta glasses and all that stuff. So the world is moving in a very different tangent. I felt you could have just brought in some kind of a surprise element into the solutioning. So that would have been a kind of a plus plus as a part of like again, like what is the power of idea? How are we questioning the power of idea? Kind of brings in a lot of stuff. So I just got like only like one question to you guys. Okay, so okay, what is the key differentiator of your concept when compared to the existing solution that are available in the market?
The major differentiator was the adaptive planning, and then the combination of the Indian nutrition and having all features on the same dashboard.
And so, as you mentioned, like for AI, what AI is not showing here because that is not coming out somewhere, but how to set your entire plan within this 2 minutes that okay, you can do these things. Yes, it is not conversational, and we have kept it minimum things that will directly say okay, like if you understand like what Divyan sir was saying, okay, I cannot do what my, like for my legs I cannot do because I have some issues with my leg, or like I have issues with my back, I cannot do these exercise. That is where when we are saying generate plan, AI is generating the plan and the food meal for you. And so as the second pitch where AI is pitching in is to readjust your plan when someone is saying that, hey, my mood is low. But like Vatsal sir brought it very clearly that mood can be a relative thing for two different people. So I think we have to work on it and see what actually mood means. And if we can get that conversational piece, I think that can help to resolve that. Again, it's a just a random thought that suddenly came, but we can, like, as a team,
Good
we
one,
can
good
think it
one.
over some.
See, Ganesh, one thing what I would kind of really think, like all the folks on the call, like as product leaders, okay, what is the new experience that I'm getting out of my product? You get it? So that is the key differentiation, like what Divyansh was talking about, the trust factor. Like probably people should just kind of the first thing in the morning wake up and this should be the first click rather than their Instas and the Facebooks of the world. You get it? Okay, so that kind of a what do you say? You should kind of bring in some like the mood should kind of translate into a action, I would say. Right? So probably that's something that you guys can really focus on because this has that element, I would say. Say, example, today we are kind of really living in a world of silo, I would say. People are becoming more loners, like they want, like probably you might have some thousand friends in your Facebooks and your Insta, but technically they feel very lonely. I mean, it's a kind of a nice problem to solve, I felt. Example, this is where cult and all these fitness kind of joints are really gained a lot of momentum because of the social fitness as one of their value propositioning is like you're not just going to the gym and just doing your workout alone. You're with the gang, you are kind of with the team, and you get to see the WhatsApp groups. This They are so active. They run, do, climb, trek. So it doesn't stop there. You get the point, right? So probably those are the elements that I feel because this looks pretty mundane. Okay, I come, I eat, I put my kind of a stuff, I kind of get some inputs. But what is a new experience that you can bring into this? The social element around this. Example, morning you kind of open it. Me, Lijesh and Virat are on a computer vision mode where we switch on my camera. The app says, okay, do some 10 pull-ups. You immediately do 10 pull-ups, and the computer vision could enable you guys to achieve the 10, and you just say you finished. You get it? So more a digital kind of a social collab kind of a experience. You get it? So those are the art of possibility. I feel you guys can just go like slightly bit out of the world kind of an ideas and bringing these kind of an experience into the product. Because these are the things that I feel traditional companies are not even thinking about on these lines. So that is where your value proposition is going to be kind of really kind of position you as like one of the GTM leaders. Like, hey, this is super cool. I can actually have a kind of a workout with my friends early morning. What more? It kind of completely changes the culture of how the entire experience works, right? So I feel as a team, there's just like one kind of a takeaway that I felt that you guys can bring in. And with the world of AI, you can just do some amazing stuffs like with all this together, computer vision, voice, vision, haptic enabled kind of a solutions into the fitness world. I feel those are the digital kind of a tech integrations that could really bring in because Google Cloud offers all this kind of a stacks for you. It's like ready to plug in APIs. You just kind of come plug it. It's kind of there. You don't need to sit and even. So I feel your benchmarking should really like the market benchmarking, like when you're doing a thing. So benchmarking should also just not to just see the products, which also should focus on the tech. What is the world of tech is kind of bringing to you, the Amazons of the world, the AWS of the world, the Google and the Microsofts of the world, because there are so much of cool things that it can kind of bring in, right? So I feel those are the kind of things that I felt was super missing in the product. But I mean, net, I mean, it was a fantastic show. I just kind of really loved the way each and everyone, first and foremost, being presentable on a kind of what do you say on a video was a good sign because it kind of really encourages like for us to kind of have a conversation. That's one. Second, the UI part was very polished, neat. But in terms of the colors, the mood, we call it as a mood board, where we try a product, we kind of try multiple color combinations to see how modern or how cool we are. So the small icons that you guys have used, like all small things matter a world of a difference when you actually kind of put a product in the market today. So for those are the things you could have done still. Go to mobile, kind of sites where you get to see the entire flows already there. There are 100 plus websites which are already done, the apps. So you could have taken some inspiration here and there, and you connect an NCP to your this one. You just prompt, okay, give me an app. It will kind of give you a look, flavor, color in next, like it's just in fractions of seconds, right? So I felt it was slightly bit old school from that standpoint. AI layer was missing, but overall it was a good show. The team, each and everyone, kind of really put your like the storytelling was brilliant, I would say, because everyone was presenting it with that passion. I can really see it is just not what you talk; it's about the storytelling. So I felt that was a very great quality of a product leader. I feel kudos to you guys. Kind of real good show there. I mean, my thing would be like a 4.5 for as a part of the score. Overall, great work. Good, great guys. Good one.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, we'll move to the scores now. Divyan, say your scores.
Yeah, mine will be 4.
Four. Okay. Vatsal, sir, your scores.
That will be 3.5.
ऑयल मेरा ज्यादा नहीं जाता है
Okay, 3.5. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, Lijesh, you can stop presenting. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, we'll move to the audience board right now. Hope my screen is visible. Yeah, so audience, please scan the QR code and cast your votes for Team 3. You have 20 seconds. But I had a glitch. Is my screen stop presented or something?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
it's
showing
like
now.
now.
It's fine. So I'll give 10 more seconds. Yes. All right, let's move on. Everyone is done? Okay. Yeah, that's the audience poll for Team 3. All the best, team. All right,
Thank you,
so
everyone.
now that, thank you. So now that we are in the final stage, so before we go and announce the winner, thank you, presenters and jury member. And thank you, juries. And I request jury members to accept the token of appreciation from IPL for joining this platform and providing the fantastic and insightful feedback. Yeah, thank you. And with this, I would like to hear your experience and final thought for the day. First up, we'll start with Divyan sir.
I think it was, great to see, you know, people having their mind on designing and thinking about the product. I think that's really appreciable. Teams who have presented, all the best to them for the future. And I think everyone is on the way. And I would not say it's too far to reach, but yeah, you are there. I think few refinements. I think the feedback that jury gifted, I think try to incorporate, ask for more feedback. I think the key takeaway would be what Rakesh, sir mentioned is, it should be, outcome driven, right? I think that's really important. And, a lot of people, even the leaders realize this, this thing after they actually go to the market, or they try to, fail the product, and then just see, okay, that was not delivered on outcome level basis. Definitely there are a couple of you know aspirations attached to each and every product. Okay, we'll do with this, but the tangible one is still missing, with each and every one. So it's not with the 3 4 presentation that we see. It actually happens with lot of big companies as well, that they try to figure out, they pivot, and the only outcome that we see, it's just the right outcome were not achieved, attached to the problem statement. I think that's really helpful. uh, I would also say, try to make sure that you actually do the competitive analysis. Don't try to go blindly with, what is being showed on the internet, on the dribbles of the world, or maybe, what is shown to the case studies. I think the empathy maps, your journey maps are a bit dated in terms of what we can just do with the, right now, with the quick decision that we can do with the AI layer that we have right now. So just try to make sure that even when everyone present their case studies, needs to be aligned what is being, done in the real world. So if we start a project, honestly, maybe my experience total is the customer facing apps, right? So I think worked on several apps. I think the first thing that I have never did in my life is designing the empathy map and the user journey for the product that I am actually creating. Uh, Even that is not being asked for. Definitely, I have in my case studies, back in like before 5 years, but there is an empathy mapping, but not in the visual terms that we have presented. There is a name of the person, problem statement, etc. But because if you see from the bigger lens, empathy map, if you want to design empathy map, there will be millions of empathy map, because the empathy will differ from your what is being looked at. So think from that way, that there is an area. So don't call it as empathy map. I would say call it as a problem area that you have to focus on, that actually try to deliver for maximum users in that cohort. I think the next definition of empathy map, I would say journey maps. I would say again, it will be different, the cohort of user that you will actually encounter for. Journey maps also, I think, will be very different from each user to another user, differ from cohort, differ from age group, actually differs from uh, what is the value that they want from the product, I would say, right? So I think we should focus on the diversifying our offerings versus stick on the journey maps, because user can get happy at any state of your product. Might be they are coming just to, in Vijay's case, it might be coming and just seeing, okay, where they stand right now in the fitness, do they want or not. In gifting case, they can actually just see, okay, is the real problem that they find it, you know uh, you know way to solve. Or in the finance category, it might be, okay, am I the right audience for that app or not, right? So I think solving that part will be helpful. I think that's it. I think from my side, I think all the best to you guys. I think reach out if any support you want, anything you want from us. Yeah.
Definitely. So great insight. Thank you so much and pleasure having you on this platform. Next up, we have Rakesh sir. Your questions, sorry, your final thoughts and your experience for today's Skillathon.
Yeah, sure. My questions are done. So, but
Yeah.
first and foremost, kudos to each and every one of the folks who have kind of presented today. It was a great kind of a learning for us as well, like as juries also, because there were a lot of good things that we were able to kind of really learn. So I felt learnability was one of the key takeaways of today's session. My message to the entire team is question the power of idea. As product leaders, I feel everyone should really question your power of the idea, like once, twice, thrice. Kind of, what do you say? Kind of really go, kind of question the idea with 100 plus people before even you put it or jot it as one of your product, kind of as a part of your goal. You get it? I guess that kind of brings in a lot of clarity and a kind of a direction to what we build. I feel that's one. Second, leverage AI, because AI kind of really brings in a lot of fantastic stuff. Kind of really brings in a lot of known, unknown stuff in a more interesting way. I feel leveraging AI could, it's just not at a surface level. I feel it like, because today most of those things, it was more at an abstract level, not to a concrete level, I would say. So probably moving from that tangent from an abstract to a concrete level is very needed. Probably spend more time understanding AI, what AI can really bring in, because we are in the world of AI. I did not see any one of the pursuit which has a kind of a blend or a flavor of AI. I felt that's my takeaway. Happy to kind of be in touch with you guys. I've already kind of given my LinkedIn. Happy to collaborate, like any mentorship or whatever you need. Happy, I mean, always there for you guys. Yeah. But thanks again, IPL team, Raj and team, for giving us this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Great insights again, and wonderful having you. I think your experience, it shows here, and definitely some great learning takeaways. Thank you so much, sir. Next up, we have Vatsal, sir. Your final thoughts and experience for today's Skillthon.
Hey, apologies. I'm actually in a car, but
Yeah, no
uh,
problem.
I think most of you would have already observed. So, see, I very strongly believe that humans evolve as the products that they use, and the needs evolve accordingly. So, if you are trying to solve for a problem statement, what will happen is it may solve for that moment or that time for that user, but next time when the user comes back, they are expecting little more, right? They're they're expecting, okay, this is what you gave as an experience last time. What is in it new for me that I want to stick around, right? So it's an ever evolution of product as well as humanity together, like the kind of products that we use. Maybe we started with say for farming, we started with small hull. Eventually we are using tractors. Now we have other various tools for farming, but it will keep on evolving. And that's not just in the physical world but digital world as well, right? So it is very important that we understand this nuance and always keep taking feedback and looping it back with our users, saying, this is what I designed, this is what we designed as a product, here is what the feedback is, here is what we want to take it with you, and we want to take back from you. One is that. Second thought that I want to also give it to everyone is that please assume, so ideas have a time and place, right? And what does happen is, because of the time and place, thousands of people are actually getting almost similar ideas. And there could be a possibility that somebody has already solved for it in a similar way or a different way, right? When you're trying to solve for an idea, right? So always look around. Don't go into your silos of your own idea, assuming that, my idea is the best idea. Nobody else is doing and solving for this idea. Probably that there are 1,000 people who are already solving or maybe ahead of the curve in where you are trying to solve the problems, right? To always look up and say, okay, here is what I think is an idea. Here, let me see, look around what the world is doing actually in that same domain, right? That's about ideas, right? And I would leave you with this one very small quote that I always leave almost everyone with is, one is the users, for they are not you. Because most of the time people assume that, this is my problem, hence it will be the world's problem. So that's something that we need to always remember. Second is, don't I, know thy team, for they are not you. So when you're working with a team, do not assume that if you are thinking that a certain problem can be solved in a certain way, do not assume that that's the same thing. It's going to be, you might always get different perspective from your team, and they will always try to solve the same problem probably in a different way. So explore that and know thyself also, because you will always come up with your own set of biases. That's the third part, which is know thyself. So always make sure that you are not coming in designing products with your own biases and assumptions. Always validate all of those things while you're designing the product. I think that's where it is. But good luck to everyone, and hopefully we'll collaborate someday.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, juries, again. And we appreciate your time and presence on this platform. The insightful feedback and questions will encourage the learners to look into the product with more clarity. And congratulations to all the participants, and thank you, audience, for also joining. Now it's time to announce winner. Any guesses? You can drop the message in chat. Okay, I think we are slightly over the time. I'll not take much of the time. We'll go and announce the winner. It's going to be Team 3. Congratulations, team. And
Thank you. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
yeah, thank you. And it was a great work and great presentation, and wishing you all the best for this product in future. And we would love to hear your experience for the day. And any one of the team member can step in and you can share the experience.
Vijit, you want to speak?
Yeah, sure. So I think it was great learning, especially the insights that the leaders shared, right? I think it gives us a lot of things to think about, to actually go back to the design board. And so I would say essentially approach this, entire deck that we've created from the scratch as well. Question ideas, question what we are actually presenting in terms of our content, right? And how valuable is it to the customer ultimately, because customer is king. So I think, yeah, that's the learning that I would take home, my team as well. Thanks to the team members. I think we've all worked really hard. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, Vijit. And I really liked your not like the statement that you mentioned when you did your last slide. Yeah, thank you so much. With that, we'll call it for the day. And happy weekend, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. Good day.